Ever feel like the second you decide to level up your life, some invisible force just starts pulling you back? Well, today we're digging into a really powerful and sometimes uncomfortable truth: the hidden resistance you get from the people around you. It's a force that can seriously sabotage your success, often without you even knowing why it's happening. It all starts with this one super simple image. Picture a bucket of crabs. When one crab starts to climb out to escape, the other crabs will instinctively pull it right back down. And the really chilling part? There's no grand plan, no evil meeting where they all agree to do it. It just happens, automatically. And this is exactly where it gets personal, right? You decide to make a change, maybe start a business, get fit, go for something bigger, and instead of getting high fives and support, you get skepticism, you get criticism, you get this weird resistance. So today, we're gonna break down exactly why that happens, and way more importantly, how you can finally climb out of that bucket for good. So what's really going on here? Well, there's a deep psychological reason for all this pushback. See, when you start to change, you're breaking an invisible, unspoken social contract. And that contract basically says, hey, we're all on the same level here, don't you dare go sticking out.
So the minute you start taking action, or thinking bigger, or even just wanting more for yourself, you suddenly become a threat. Not because you're doing anything wrong. It's because your ambition acts like a giant mirror, reflecting back at others what they could be doing but aren't. And that, for them, creates this deep, really unsettling discomfort.
And that discomfort, it doesn't just stay inside their heads. Nope, it comes out in 4 very common tactics that are designed, whether they know it or not, to pull you right back down to their level.
Okay, tactic number 1 is just pure outrage at your initiative. The moment you do something new, something that wasn't on the group's pre-approved agenda, you start hearing questions like, "Who do you think you are?" Or, "Why are you suddenly doing all this?" Look, these questions have nothing to do with logic. They are all about control. It's an attempt to put you back in your box, where the status quo feels nice and safe for everyone.
All right, tactic number 2 is a little bit sneakier. It's the illusion of permission.
You know, we're taught our whole lives to wait for the right time, or for someone to finally tell us we're good enough. So what do most people do? They spend their lives waiting. But the people who actually get results, they don't ask for permission. They just walk right through the door. And that audacity is incredibly irritating to everyone still waiting outside.
Now the third tactic. This one can be the most painful. It's non-acceptance.
When you do something genuinely new, you become a target. Not because your idea is bad, but simply because it's unfamiliar. People will say things like, "That's just weird, that's never gonna work." They'll call you unrealistic. But you have to remember, every great new idea looks a little strange at first.
And that brings us to the final and most insidious tactic of them all. They exploit your own self-doubt.
Think about it. If they sense even a tiny hint of hesitation in you, it becomes a lever they can pull. Suddenly, your ideas get devalued. Your resources are taken for granted. As long as you don't fully believe you're worthy of more, trust me, nobody else is going to do that work for you.
And all of this brings us to the most important realization you can possibly have. This resistance, all this pushback, it's not actually about you. It's not an accurate evaluation of your potential or your idea. Not at all.
This right here is the key. You think they're judging your ambition, right? But what they're actually seeing is a reflection of their own fears. Their fear of change, their fear of failure, their fear of looking foolish. Your moving forward just shines a big spotlight on everything they're too afraid to do. So their reaction isn't about you. It's a defense mechanism for their own comfortable world.
And here's the paradox in all of this. If no one is pulling you back, you're probably not moving forward in any meaningful way. Resistance is actually a sign. It's a filter that proves you're on the right track.
This is the classic path of pretty much any new idea. First, they criticize you. Then, as you keep going, they just start watching you. After a while, they get used to it, and finally, what you're doing just becomes the new normal. The only question is, do you have the stamina to push through that first phase?
So how do we actually use this information? I mean, understanding it is one thing, but taking action is everything. So here are 4 concrete, practical steps you can take to escape that bucket and protect your momentum for good.
First, stop explaining yourself. The more you try to justify what you're doing, the more you invite other people to poke holes in it. Second, act without permission. You don't need a certificate or the perfect moment to get started. Just start. Third, protect your energy. Be selective. Not everyone has earned the right to hear about your plans or your vulnerabilities. And finally, number 4, actively go find a new environment. This doesn't mean you have to pack up and move. It could be joining an online group, going to a local meetup, or even just following people online who are already where you want to be. The whole point is to expose yourself to new ways of thinking that make ambition normal, not something to be punished.
So, after all of this, the psychology, the tactics, the solutions, what is the one single thought you should hold on to tight when you feel that pull?
Remember this: you are not being pulled back because you are weak. You are being pulled back because you are making progress. And at some point, you just have to make a choice. Either you let them pull you back down into the bucket, or you climb out for good. And that choice, that is entirely up to you.